Okay. Well, it seems that things are working now. It disconnected for a minute, so I was trying to make sure everything was working okay. I think it was the remote play disconnected for a second. I just got this game yesterday. It's pretty decent, so I'm gonna start a playthrough for stream today. This is gonna be different from my other RPG playthroughs because, well, multiple reasons. One, I don't know jack shit after like the first few hours. Because I only made it in a little ways yesterday when I was testing things out. I'll share little things that I learned along the way if they come up. And one of them's actually during the character creation, so we'll get to that in a second. Other than that, the other thing that's going to be different is I'm not going to be talking that much compared to a normal RPG playthrough for me because, well, something's off today with me. I don't, whether it's my chest or my head or something doesn't feel right today. So, also, I really need to stop talking so much during playthroughs and things. So, I'm just gonna. God damn it, it's being difficult. Give me a second, guys. Anyways, I'm gonna figure out what's wrong with PS Remote Play. Because for some reason, it just keeps losing connection right now, which is really annoying. It should be fine, though. It should be absolutely fine. Maybe I'm just sitting still for too long? I don't know. Anyways, as I was saying, unless chat pops up or I need to like point out something, I'm probably not going to talk too much today. We're just going to sit back and enjoy the game, pretty much. So, let's get into it. I will be playing as a Psy Freak. Mostly, I would recommend using Rex or FIP if you're going to play a Psy Freak because of their natural boost to intelligence. But to make things a little bit harder on myself, I'm just going to play Primal. They're fairly basic. The attributes screen is where I needed to point something out, so I'm still going to be talking a little bit. You can manipulate what they look like on this screen. As you can see, he looks like that right now. That's not what I want my character to look like. I want to go for 100 intellect, since I'm playing a mage. But, which is really difficult in general, to try and hit that 100 marker. You have to be really temperamental with it. But basically, I don't want him to look like that. He looks like he just stuffed his face and got rolled over. So, in order to manipulate that, you just go back out, you select a different character real quick like that, and go back. And next time he'll look different, or he's supposed to. Sometimes you gotta go down too. Yeah, see, now he looks different. Encode your DNA. Define your genetic. There's a specific, yeah. Okay, that's what I wanted. I wanted the fox-looking, rat-looking thing. That's what I wanted. I don't think it looks exactly the same as what I made my other character, but this is essentially what I wanted, was the fox-looking version of the Primal. Well, fox/rat face. Anyways, somehow I got it on 100 intellect right off the bat. If you're doing 100% in something, or anything for that matter, just manipulate it and you'll get it to look the way you want it to. More or less. I still don't know what this is really for. I mean, these don't seem to affect areas in the game that much. I'm assuming there's weapons that can cause this damage to you. I usually pick 2 resistances and just go with that. So, there's a way to get 12 and 12. No, that's not it. Come on, game. And it's going to be temperamental, so we're just going to go with, what was it, 15-10? Yeah, we're going to go with a 15-10 split on heat and biohazard.
Choose your first style.
It colors your arm, too, depending on what the highest resistance is. You can see his arm there has got like a red tint to it. If I made it radioactive, it'd be purple or whatever, and so on and so forth. This doesn't matter too much for me since I'm making him a certain way, but I'm going to go with this one.
Pick your main color.
And we're just making our little dude fully white.
Pick a class.
But yeah, there's Deadeye. According to what I read, don't get lured in by the perfect reload skill. It's one of those skills that has a proc chance. And, hey title. It doesn't proc very often at all. So don't get lured in by that. If you're going to stick to guns for the game, you should play Commando. Which, if I do a Dark Aura playthrough, I'll be playing a Commando probably, because it's better. If you're playing a Psy Freak, I recommend going Light Aura from the get-go. We'll get into auras. It's basically a karma system. But Psy Freak is the only one that doesn't get a level 10 Dark Aura Psy skill. Every other class seems to get a thing called Sizzle Ball at Dark Aura level 10. So if you're trying to play a Dark Aura based mage in this game, I either recommend playing a Saboteur or a Commando for their skill perks, and then just put yourself at 100 intelligence and call it good. We're playing Light Aura, and we're gonna hop in here with Psy Freak. So
sounds good.
You can hear me, right, Title? I think you can. Shouldn't be any problems with my sound or anything.
Here's somebody with a
I think I might have to adjust the settings of sound and stuff.
of a story that's already begun.
Okay. As long as you can actually hear me. I was confused there for a second.
We're already at a crossroads. Choosing a path
Yeah.
in life is that fork in the road where you make a choice or simply stop living.
This is the aura choice. It's a base aura choice, but also the narrator gets on my nerves a little bit.
It's not only a
Not gonna lie.
but a choice.
You can't turn him off though.
Reflection of your key, the primal energy that flows through everything.
You really just can't turn the narrator off. So in this game, left means dark, right means light. Okay. That's good. Yeah, the remote play was messing up a little bit at first, so. Anyways, as you can see, dark is to the left, light is to the right. There's dialogue choices that are affected by this that you wouldn't think would be. And one of them's actually in the tutorial area. And it will depend on whether you walk away with 6 light or 4 and 2, basically. I kept walking away with 4 dark and 2 light because I kept messing up the dialogue choices. Okay, title. But I know how to get full 6 and 6 now. Also, even if you choose dark, make sure you choose the right option for the second dialogue. Otherwise, it'll mess up a little bit. You don't really have to worry fully about aura, because I think you can get 30 and 30, no matter what.
But what comes around goes all the way back around. So, it's better to stick to your instincts. You can't fight what's in your nature.
Honestly, these two might be my favorite characters in the game, and they're just the inner voice of the character that you're playing.
I was hoping we'd be all about natural selection, survival of the strongest, and so forth. If that's not instinct, then I don't know what is.
It's...
Natural selection is all about evolution and progress.
I am letting the dialogue play out. Usually I would skip it.
Darkness will disappear.
But yeah. The light smacks him with a hammer, I think. And if you go dark side, he smacks her upside the head with a shovel.
Always right.
But yeah.
Stories of death from the bodies left behind. A reminder that we're at the mercy of nature and the one that preys on others. Do you remember the beast that shattered your family? Or did you choose to forget? You turned your back on our world.
Honestly, I think the reason I don't like the narrator so much is because he makes it seem more like a kid game by being involved. I mean, it's a game about animals with guns and abilities just kind of killing each other. You can't kill this guy, you just gotta follow the tutorial combinations and stuff.
Better make a run for it. This is not the time nor place to end this story.
That square and circle combo is... It's kind of ridiculous to try and hit it, honestly, because you're hitting the square button, you're hitting the X button most of the time, at least in my case, because my thumb is so damn big. I'm hitting like all three buttons at the same time trying to do that combo.
This time, it was best to run and live to fight another day. Let us hope you're ready for it when it comes.
And we're safe from the bot now.
The predator isn't the only threat. The wildlife started to mutate when the end of days began, and the tree of life started to die.
I'm not quite sure what those things are, to be honest with you. It's telling you all of the different things, and now that you're a Saya person like I am, you'll get a thing popping up telling you about your ability. Basically with these guys, just keep your distance, use your gun, use your Sai ability. If you have the Sai ability, that is. They're no big deal. So. I didn't think I need to talk much, but I guess I do. These things, they do crap tons of damage basically and give you an extended clip on your pistol. My suggestion is to save them for later. I'm specifically saving it for a giant monster down the road that I'm gonna have to fight, so we don't need it in this first area, especially if we're a Psy Freak. So. Oh. It's the first time I got something different out of that toilet. Interesting. Usually gives me the same thing over and over again from the toilet.
The oil sludges everywhere. To most, it only means death. But some have adapted to the new environment and changed with it.
Yeah, there's that big dude
Evolution
there.
has its way.
big dudes are really easy if you're a Psy Freak because you just spam your ability at them and they'll die. It's telling you about loot for that hint. I know I'm skipping by hints really fast. Basically, it was telling us about that. Where'd the other one go? Boy. I might have to fix my controller. I think it's... yeah, the camera's pulling. Damn. Well, I might have to fix that eventually. I might have to fix it soon, Jesus. There's some ridiculous pull. Okay, game. Alright, well that was annoying. My camera keeps pulling. I'm not touching my controller right now, basically is what I'm saying. So, you're gonna have to give me a second. One sec, guys. Well, hopefully it works fine now. It doesn't seem like it's pulling. So, just did the same old trick I always do for it, but it tends to wear off more when I play RPGs or when I play too much Apex. Oh, that's why it froze me in place. It's giving me a tutorial about this guy. If you're a Psy Freak, don't worry about the big guy. You can just break his shield with your ability. If you're playing anything else, you kind of have to break his shield with a melee attack. You can't break it with gun attack. As annoying as that is, you cannot break it with a gun attack. Even as the commando, you can't break a shield like that.
Look, an emergency box from the Wandsworth. Rare sight. That pipe looks weak. A crowbar should come in handy. Whoa. It's time to find a way out of this place. No, really, I mean it. Grin and bear it.
Since we started with 100 intellect, I'm going with vitality for my mage since they're frail. The Psyphreak is super frail, no matter what you do. Unless you make 100% vitality, Psyphreak. And then I chose the unarmed combat bonus because you have to choose one of them, and I'm going to be using that after we get out of this place. So, at least a little bit, I'm going to be using it. Oh, and this is also how you check your aura. As you can see, we have 2 light aura. That's about it right now.
The morphs produce biomatter in their multi-organ that they shed under distress. Logs that affect the cellular coating strands of any living being when absorbed, including you.
And that's a tutorial about those things. I'll explain it when we actually use it. If anyone's wondering how I knew that was there, you can do that with your camera.
Toxanol built vessels called arcs to save themselves from the impending doom. But was it too late? It is only from the flight logs of the single arc they left behind that we know other arcs traveled through the sky and beyond. It seems those that came before us never lost hope in finding a new home for their kind.
Yeah, I don't fully understand the story yet about those things, but it's whatever. Okay, this is our first puzzle. Basically, just hit R1 or L1 and use up the moves. Higher your intellect, the more moves you get for those puzzles.
There are few records of the chain of events that led to the big apocalypse eons ago, but it's clear the world wasn't prepared for how recklessly the Toxanol Corporation would make its mark on the world. Their rare earth mining and nuclear industries generated tons of waste, and without consideration for the future, they dumped it all in landfills until they ran out of space. That's when they made the big mistake. They began dumping the toxic waste in the surf just off the coast instead, assuming that it would sink and decay with time. And they were right. But no one was prepared for what was about to unfold. Once in the surf, the radiation interfered with the genetics of the wildlife and created bizarre mutations in their offspring. It had an inconceivable impact on biodiversity and the entire ecosystem. The world as they knew it crumbled as nature retaliated. It would never be the same again, and what remained of it became ours.
I guess it's a good thing that in real life that can't happen. Because we make that same damn mistake with our lives.
The sound of spark metal going pew pew is never a good thing.
Oh, I gotta mention this because I love it. The gun shop person in this game is called the Pew Pew vendor, and I love it. It's great.
Going to take a bit of puzzling to short circuit the door. Just a few moves left.
By the way, these puzzles are always different. Occasionally you'll get a same one in there, but they are different. That one was different from the like 6 that I've done on that one, so it does happen. Okay, this is one of those confusing karma bits I was talking about, so I'm gonna talk about it for a second. Basically, what I was thinking originally is you have to help this guy, so you get light karma no matter what. That's not the case. The way this karma situation works is you literally have to help him. You can't just leave. There's a rope in the background and you cannot take it until the story says you can take it. I tried to just ditch him and bail here and just let him fight these things on his own. You can't do that. That's not how you get the dark aura. And I assume that's because he's an instrumental part in the story. Otherwise, they'd let you just ditch him here and then he'd fight his own way out of here and then he'd talk to you later and call you an asshole or something. But the way you get dark aura is you have to help him, and then when you have dialogue with him after the fight, you need to choose the left option of dialogue twice in a row, and you get dark aura. If you choose the right option of dialogue twice in a row, you get light aura. That's how this situation works. It's a little weird how they map this one out, I'm not gonna lie. But I was just testing it like crazy and trying to figure out how you can get dark aura fast, and I kept ending up with like 2 dark aura, 2 light aura after this. I'm like, what the hell's wrong? So I tried it. You can get 4 dark aura before leaving this place by choosing the left dialogue option twice. So if you're doing a dark aura, do that.
The wheeled one is outnumbered. You'd better help him out.
It's one of those things that doesn't make a lot of sense, so. And if you couldn't already tell, the Psy-Freak is kind of busted. The ability does so much damage. I think he has a shotgun, by the way. I'm not entirely sure. I would never use a shotgun in this game. Sounds like it, though. Definitely sounds like it. But yeah, see, even now, after they're all dead, you can't take this rope. It just won't let you. You have to do this. So.
He wants to thank you for taking his side against the scavengers. He sounds familiar. You just can't figure out why. He presents himself as out of date. He knows he's way overdue, but he hasn't given up. He doesn't seem surprised that you don't recognize him. You were just a child back then, the night everything changed.
As far as I've made it in the game, I still don't know where this guy's from.
There have been rumors of a one-eyed Ronin seen outside the Great Wall, and he's happy to see it's true. The legend of the one-eyed child that grew up as an outcast is old and sad. The child could have been anyone, but
Like I
the
said.
evil it had fled had left a mark, a facial scar to remember the past.
Dark aura, choose remember what. Light aura, the scar.
It's a scar you're covering under that eye patch, isn't it? But he would have recognized you anyways. You look exactly like your Muma. There's no doubt you're the child, and that what Looper Lupin did to your village, your Muma and Popsy, was the beginning of the end. He says it has taken you a long time to bring the past back up to the present, to find your way back, but he's grateful you have. It was after the attack that the unity fell apart. Your Muma's disciples divided and formed tribes as a reaction to the blight that had fallen upon the land.
Again, dark, light.
The impending threat of the World Eaters bringing down the Tree of Life is ever so close. He also worries about the Jagni tribe that's actively working for a doomsday and purging of the world. Had it not been for the Tree of Life, no one would have survived. He hopes you at least remember the tree.